अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। सॉइल केमिस्ट्री की नेक्स्ट सीरीज़ को हम कंटिन्यू करते हैं। आज का जो हमारा लेक्चर होगा दैट विल बी ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कंपोजिशन एंड इट्स फ्रैक्शनेशन। इसका भी हम पहला पार्ट कंपोजिशन को थोड़ा सा टच करेंगे, कुछ बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन की बात करेंगे कि ऑर्गेनिक मैटर की कंपोजिशन क्या होती है। Let me show you actually what we will study. Here are the outlines. So we will first of all study what is organic matter, how you define it, what is the simplest form of the organic matter, how the organic matter forms, what are the stages, how soil organic matter influences its environment, particularly the soil and the plant, how the organic matter declines with the passage of time, what are the factors which reduces the quantity and quality of the organic matter, and in the last we will have some concluding remarks with how to build up organic matter. If it is declining, obviously if it is better for the soil, better for the environment, we have to build it. So what are the possibilities, how we can build such organic matter? We have to study this. Let's start. So what is the organic matter? Soil organic matter is a complex and varied mixture of organic substances. It is a very complex substance because it is organic. It has the carbon. It has long chains of the carbon and hydrogen. It has very complex organic compounds attached with those organic carbons. It has the mixture of number of organic substances. Why it is so complex? Why it is so varied? Let me show you. Organic matter is a fraction of a soil. As you know, we have 45% solid material in the soil, 25% air, 25% water, while the rest of the 5% it includes the organic matter, soil organic matter, some microbes, living organisms, that can be the plants and the animals. So organic matter is actually the fraction or the part of the soil. It can be made up of anything once lived. ये हर उस चीज़ का ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कहलाएगा, हर उस चीज़ से बनेगा जो कभी जिंदा थी, जिसमें कभी जान थी. That may include the plants, that may include the animal remains, dead bodies, animals की dead bodies, plants की bodies. Plants को जब आप when they fall from the high places or when they complete their life cycle, they die, they dump into the soil and they convert into organic matter. Cells and tissues of such living organisms, plants, roots, and soil microbes, all these actually they make the organic matter and then become part of that soil. If a lot of variety of the plants, animals, microbes, insects, they are going into the soil and they are converting into the organic matter, so there will be a dynamic behavior, there will be a variety, because all plants are different from each other, all or animals are different from each other. So when they are going into the soil, they keep their change in the soil also. अब प्लांट्स की जो कंपोजिशन है, प्लांट में सेल वॉल होती है, एनिमल्स में सेल वॉल नहीं होती है, एक बड़ा डिफरेंस आप जानते हैं. अब उसी बड़े डिफरेंस की बुनियाद पर जो ऑर्गेनिक मैटर एनिमल से बनेगा वो डिफरेंट होगा, जो प्लांट से बनेगा डिफरेंट होगा, और फिर एक बैलेंस भी क्रिएट होता है. So it is a dynamic, changing resources that reflects balance between addition of new organic matter and loss of organic matter already in the soil. जो डेड बॉडी जितनी पुरानी है, जो डेब्रिस जितना पुराना है, जो प्लांट्स जितने पुराने सॉइल में गए हुए हैं, वो उतनी जल्दी सॉल्युबलाइज हो जाएंगे, उतनी जल्दी डीकम्पोज हो जाएंगे, और वो डीकम्पोज होने के बाद ख़त्म होते चले जाएंगे. सो जो फ्रेश ऑर्गेनिक मैटर बनेगा उसकी रेशियो ज़्यादा होगी एज़ कम्पेयर टू द ओल्ड वन. Once an area is converted from a natural system to a cropping or grazing system, level of organic matter in soil changes. अब आपने एक सॉइल देखी, एक जगह पे आपको एक ज़मीन का टुकड़ा नज़र आया, पहले वहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं था, या एक नेचुरल सिस्टम था, एक जंगल सा था. वहाँ से आपने दोनों सिनेरियो में, एक बैरन लैंड है खाली जगह पे, और एक जगह पे कुछ प्लांट्स लगे हुए हैं बट दे आर नॉट ऑफ योर यूज़. तो आप उन दोनों को रिमूव करते हो और आप वहाँ पे एग्रीकल्चर स्टार्ट करते हो. जब आप एग्रीकल्चर स्टार्ट करोगे, आप इन दोनों लैंड्स में की ऑर्गेनिक मैटर में चेंजेस आना शुरू होंगी. एक जगह बढ़ेगा, एक जगह कम होगा. लेट्स सी हाउ द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर फॉर्म्स. डेवलप कैसे होता है ऑर्गेनिक मैटर? इट in soil it comes from the several sources. As I said, it can come from the plants, it can come from the animals, it can come from the decomposition of various other materials. That can be the airborne dust, that can be the applied chemicals. So a lot of the ways from where the organic matter is coming. In soils, wide array of organic materials exist in different particle sizes. As it decomposes with the passage of time, it reshapes, it changes the size in different degree of composition, and this translated into organics with differing solubilities and functional grouping. So जैसे मैंने कहा कि अगर different perspective से organic matter आ रहा है, उस पर माइक्रोब्स एक्ट कर रहे हैं, वो माइक्रोब्स की वैरायटी बहुत ज़्यादा है, तो वो उसको किस केमिकल रिएक्शन के ज़रिए चेंज करेंगे तो उसकी प्रोडक्ट भी डिफरेंट होगी, उन पर फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स भी डिफरेंट होंगे. सॉइल ऑर्गेनिक्स में बी सेपरेट डिस्क्रीट फेजेस और दे मे बी इमीडिएटली एसोसिएटेड विद मिनरल सर्फेसिस. जो जितना ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स होगा ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, वो उतने ज़्यादा टाइम लेगा सिंप्लीफाइड होने में. जो थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स कम होगा वो इमीडिएटली मिनरल फॉर्म में आएगा, इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म में आएगा, और प्लांट्स को अवेलेबल हो सकता है सॉइल में. हाउ दिस सॉइल ऑर्गेनिक मैटर इन्फ्लुएंस इट्स एनवायरनमेंट, और स्पेशली द सॉइल एंड अदर थिंग्स, अदर ऑर्गेनिजम्स, प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स or microbes living within the soil. Soil organic matter influences actually all this in number of factors. Number one, we previously studied cation exchange capacity. Soil organic matter influences the cation exchange capacity. They have the nutrients, they are functional groups, they have active functional groups which can react very easily. If they are simple organic matter, it can easily convert into the inorganic part, inorganic nutrients. So higher the organic matter, it will be more cation exchange capacity, and if the cation exchange capacity is more, you definitely understand soil is more fertile. More fertile soil, more nutrient availability, more proper growth of the plants, and it's all a win-win ratio. Also, more organic matter, more water holding capacity. Why? If more organic matter has the property that it is porous. More porosity, more water retention power. So more water will stay there. Soil will be moist, humid, temperature can be controlled within the soil. roots or rhizosphere, they will have a very moderate temperature, while microbial activity will be very optimum. So again, nutrient availability will be better. Formation and stabilization of the soil aggregates is strongly influenced by the soil organic matter. Soil aggregation is very important for the proper formation of the soil, nutrient retention, and water holding capacity. Similarly, plant nutrients, more organic matter, more plant nutrients. It also supplies the energy. For example, nutrients, they are basically the energy. They are energy for the plants, they are energy for the animals. If a plant has a good number of nutrients, good environmental conditions in the soil, it will have a good supply of the energy for itself. Next is the bodybuilding constituents of the microorganisms. As I said, it has the inorganic nutrients. Those inorganic nutrients goes into the body of the microorganisms, and as the microorganisms grow, they divide, they get such nutrients for themselves, and it becomes actually the part of that body. Here you can see a lot of the microorganisms and other biota. Actually, they are coming from the soil: slug, snail, earthworms, soberg, millipede, adult fly, larvae, a lot of ant, centipede, mite, bacteria, fungi, actinomycetes. They are taking the nutrients, they are getting the nutrients from the soil, from these organic matter, and they make it part of their body. It also stimulates the growth of the plants by controlling the moisture, temperature, nutrients, water, a lot of the factors. So what we understood from this point of view, we understood that the quantity and quality of the soil organic matter is a central factor that determines the soil quality, soil health. If we talk about the soil quality, how it is? Soil quality is good, very good, excellent, bad, worst. What type of the soil quality it is? So we have to analyze the organic matter preferably on the top of the list, because it shows us, it gives us some idea about the CEC, cation exchange capacity, microbial activity, microbial biomass, nutrients, and other factors. Why the organic matter declines? If it is so important, why it declines? It declines because of the erosion. You know, all the time, everywhere, erosion is happening. Erosion is happening due to water, erosion is happening due to wind, erosion is happening due to multiple factors. So whenever the erosion is happening, it takes the organic matter with itself and deposit somewhere else where it is not needed. Some farming systems reduce amount of new organic matter going into the soil with subsoil low in organic matter. Some of the farming systems, they developed different techniques of growing the plants. In their technique, they don't utilize the top layer of the soil, they use the subsoil. Subsoil has low organic carbon while the topsoil has more carbon. So they don't use, it goes on with the water, with the irrigation, with erosion, but the bottom soil, they don't have much carbon. Cultivation breaks down soil aggregates and exposes previously protected organic matter to microbial activity. For example, there are 4 or 5 clay particles, they bind together with the presence of a glomalin. Glomalin is a protein and glomalin helps to glue such particles. It forms an aggregate. They combine, they stay there because of the weight, because of the attachment, they stay there, and they help to increase the cation exchange capacity. Whenever you grow the plant, somehow these roots, they break such bonds, they separate those clay particles from each other, they break the aggregates, and on breakage of such aggregates, these organic matter, it is released from such part of the soil, and it becomes lower microbial activity. So cultivation is actually reducing the soil aggregation. In warm and wet conditions, decomposition is speedy. For example, in the upper Punjab, in the lower Punjab, and also in the Sindh part, right now the temperature is too high. If it is too high, that on the top of the layer, on the top of the soil, organic matter decomposition will be high. So, more temperature, high temperature, decomposition rate is high. And if you leave the soil barren, अगर आप उसको खाली छोड़ देते हो soil को, if you leave the soil barren, it will easily decompose, it will quickly decompose, and soil will have less carbon content, ultimately low microbial activity, low water content, low infiltration rate. So all these factors, they will influence the next productivity of the crop. Increased quality of the organic inputs provide more nitrogen for the microbes and less hard to digest lignin. As I said previously, if the organic matter is coming from the plants, that will be a different scenario. If it is coming from the animals, that will be different. If it is coming from the plants, it is not easy to digest, not easy for the microbes. They can't easily break down the molecules of the lignin and the peptidoglycan because they are hard and they are present in the cell wall of the plants. So if it is declining, how you will build up such organic matter? You can build by growing the healthy crops and the pastures. How you can do this? I said you should not leave the land barren, you should grow the plants. If you grow the plants, soil will not be barren, it will be covered. Even at high temperature, sunlight and the sun cannot decompose, help the microbes to decompose easily such organic matter. Always keep rotating the crops. Crop rotation, make the habit, rotate the crops. Never ever leave the land barren. Rotate the crops and design such model which is so beneficial for your soil. You should also have to calculate the total energy balance, total nutrient balance. Consider the soil as a living organism and also give some time and give some food, give some nutrients. Also add something in the soil, not always take everything from the soil. Grow the green manure crops, it helps the soil to regenerate. Go for the regenerative agriculture. Use pastures in the rotations, it will be very helpful. Apply animal manures and the recycled waste, it will increase the organic matter, it will increase the decomposition rate, it will increase the carbon level. Retain the crop residues within the soil for maximum time. Reduce the tillage and erosion. Recently, you know that there is a concept of the zero tillage. We do not disturb the soil. We don't want to disturb the soil, otherwise it will leave the carbon, and that is dangerous actually. Reduce the periods of bare fallow. Periods means you are giving a pause, you are giving a break between first and second cultivation. So reduce that time. Don't leave the soil alone and bare for a longer period of time. So thank you very much. If you have any question, relevant questions, if you have any consideration for this lecture, drop me the question here and your query here or on the YouTube. I will reply you. Thank you very much.